Dragging my tired body back to the home I'd shared with Damien for 7 years, I stopped and took a long somber look at the place that had once been my sanctuary. It was almost laughable now. Back then I'd been so sure I would spend my life here with him. Now, that belief felt like a cruel joke. Every corner of the house carried memories of us, moments that should have been comforting. Instead, they sliced through me like 1,000 knives, each one sharper than the last. The pain was unbearable because deep down, I knew this home was never truly meant for me. Damien had designed it for someone else, a shadow of the person he thought I should be. I was never enough, never quite what he wanted, and staying here was just a way to hurt myself. It was time to leave. The decision to go had already been made. Accepting the bond marriage proposal from the neighboring pack meant I had to start over anyway. But I'd delayed, hoping Damien might give me a reason to stay. Instead, he chose to abandon me as my anchor. That night, I found a large cardboard box and began the painful process of erasing every trace of what we'd once had. I packed away the slippers with the wolf and moon motif that symbolized our bond, the mugs that fit together like puzzle pieces, and the keychains that buzzed when they sensed each other nearby. Damien had always said those trinkets would remind me of his love, especially when he was away. At the time, I'd been so happy to have them. They made me feel secure, like no matter where he was, our bond was unbreakable. But now, those same items feel meaningless, their promises hollow. Then came the photos and portraits. Each one was a snapshot of our lives. Vacations, birthdays, lazy mornings in bed. We were smiling at most of them, some taken candidly, looking like the perfect pair. They had once been proof of our bond, a testament to the love I thought we shared. Now, they only made me sick. Looking at them felt like a cruel joke, a reminder of how blind I'd been to the cracks forming between us. None of it mattered anymore. Damien hadn't returned in over 2 weeks. In his absence, I threw myself into work. Designing gowns and dresses for the pack's ceremony kept my mind occupied, at least during the day. At night, I packed away our memories, each item pulling me deeper into the heartbreak until I cried myself numb. Eventually, the sharp edge of the pain dulled into a quiet acceptance. I stripped the house of everything that once made it feel warm and inviting. Even the furniture I had lovingly chosen was replaced, leaving the space cold and minimalist, just black and white, like the day I first moved in. The night before my departure, I considered calling Damien one last time. Maybe I needed closure, or maybe I just wanted him to fight for me, to give me a reason to hold on. But every time I dialed his number, he rejected the call. Finally, a message came through. If you haven't admitted your mistake and apologized to Kaya, there's nothing left for us to discuss. I stared at the words, my lips twisting into a bitter smile. Even after everything, he still blamed me. He hadn't once asked for my side of the story. 7 years together, and he dismissed me so easily. If that's how he felt, then there was nothing more to say. At dawn, I packed my suitcase and walked out of the house. That had once been my safe haven. For the first time in weeks, I felt relief, stronger than any sorrow still lingering in my heart. While waiting to board my flight, my phone buzzed with birthday messages. I'd forgotten it was my birthday. In the past, Damien would have been the first to greet me, with a surprise plan for the day. This year, his silence was louder than ever. The messages were kind, some wished me happiness, others success, and a few who knew about the bond marriage wished me luck with my new mate. I replied to them, all, one by one, before turning off my phone. As the plane took off, I gazed out at the sunrise breaking over the horizon and made a silent promise. I would find happiness again. This time, it wouldn't depend on anyone else. The plane soared above the ocean and the boundless blue sky and radiant sun outside lifted my spirits. I gazed at the clouds shifting and tumbling straight with warm reddish light as the horizon glowed. The sky was breathtaking and for a moment I regretted not having a camera to capture it. Then inspiration struck like lightning. Grabbing a pen and sketchpad, I quickly drew the scene, each line a reflection of the fleeting beauty I saw outside. By the time I finished, night had fallen and the surreal realization hit me. We had taken off on the morning of the 27th and landed on the evening of the 26th. It felt like traveling through time, a strange but exciting sensation. Stepping off the plane, I spotted them instantly. Mom, Dad, and Kurs standing together waving enthusiastically. My older brother, of course, was impossible to miss, holding up an enormous, ridiculously colorful happy birthday banner that looked hilariously out of place. Laughter bubbled out of me as I waved back, my heart swelling with warmth. Lifting my suitcase, I ran straight into my mother's waiting arms, her embrace comforting me in ways I hadn't realized I needed. Years ago, I had left this love and safety behind, chasing dreams and love against my parents' advice. I had been young and stubborn, determined to find inspiration beyond our packed lens. When they voiced their concerns about my safety, I brushed them off, assuring them if I needed something, I would just call them. But who could have predicted that 8 long years would pass with only brief visits during holidays? I had left them to endure the pain of missing me, while I lived my life elsewhere. Tears welled up, but I quickly pulled away from my mother, swallowing the overwhelming emotions. Instead of voicing my guilt or sorrow I blurted out, "Mom, starving." Her gentle smile never wavered as she stroked my face, reading me like she always did. Without prying into my pain, she simply wiped away a stray tear, her touch as tender as it had been when I was a child. "Come home," she said softly. "You'll make your favorite noodles with gravy." I nodded, returning her smile. "Okay," Kurs chimed in, nudging my side with a grin. "Wait, I thought we were having my favorite pecan pie today. Why is the menu changing to noodles?" "Because it's my birthday," I shot back, nudging him harder. "Hey, Mom, did you see that? She's attacking me," Kurs exaggerated, clutching his side. Then he added smugly, "And your birthday's technically tomorrow. Time zones, remember." "Whatever," I said, clinging to Mom's arm with a playful pout. "Mom," Kurs, "bullying me again." "Bullying you?" Kurs feigned outrage. "Mom, do you hear this?" My mom chuckled, linking her arm with mine as we walked out. My dad patted my head affectionately, shaking his head at our antics while Kurs continued his mock complaints. The love and laughter filled the empty spaces in my heart, washing away the bitterness that had lingered there. Arm in arm we left the airport, chatting and laughing like no time had passed at all. Meanwhile, Damien's world was crumbling. He sat on the floor of his home, no, the house we had shared, frantically dialing my number over and over again. Every year he set a reminder on his phone so he wouldn't forget my birthday, and this year was no different. Early that morning, as he lay in the guest room at Kaya's house, the notification had jolted him awake. Out of habit, he'd risen, intending to buy groceries and prepare a small celebration. He had even commissioned a custom bracelet as a gift. But when he saw Kaya lounging in the living room, he hesitated. After all, I hadn't apologized yet. He couldn't understand why I, who had always been so accommodating, was so stubborn this time. As the hours dragged on without a single message from me, unease settled in his chest. Unable to resist, he finally left Kaya's house and returned home to check on me. But when he opened the door, he froze. The sight before him was unrecognizable. Gone were the warm, inviting touches I had carefully added over the years. In place, there was a cold, minimalist space stripped of any personality, just stark black and white like it had been 7 years ago. Damien stepped back, confused, and checked the address, wondering if he'd entered the wrong house. But no, this was our home. Rather, it had been. Now it was nothing more than a shell, just as empty as his heart.